Here is a fun fact for you. There are over 4.5 million fortune cookies made every single day. Hi, it's Hani from Haniela's here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to make shatteringly crisp homemade fortune cookies. So without further ado, let's get started. Before we get to the baking part, I want you to think about those fortune sayings. What is it that you want to include inside of your cookie? These could be your favorite quotes from a book. Maybe you love some lyrics. They could be wise or really witty or funny. Anything really goes. Make sure that you cut these fairly small so you can fit them inside of your cookie. I'm going to be using a template that is 3.5 inches across. I'm going to work with 2 cookies at a time. Now we can prepare our batter. Start with room temperature egg whites, granulated sugar, a little bit of salt, pinch of salt, vanilla and almond extract, cooled melted butter, and then also a little bit of water or milk. You want to beat this on medium to high speed until everything is well combined, and you'll also notice that mixture will thicken somewhat and become pale in color. That's because of all the air we are beating in. And then we're going to gradually add our flour. At this point, you should also have your oven preheated to 350 degrees of Fahrenheit, 180 degrees of Celsius. I'm going to beat the flour in on low to medium speed, and the batter should be medium consistency. Should if I was to compare it to something maybe like a marshmallow fluff or like a toothpaste maybe. We're going to spread the batter onto a silicone baking mat, and as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to work with 2 cookies at a time. I found that was the good amount for me, so I could manage shaping and everything was flowing nicely. So put your template underneath and then use a teaspoon measure and drop a heaping teaspoon of batter onto each round, and then you can shape it with the back of the spoon. And if you can, or if you have another silicone mat, I suggest that you work with 2 silicone mats, because as soon as you take this one out of the oven, you can stick the other one into the oven, because you can't really spread the batter on a hot silicone mat. So those 7-8 minutes of baking time will give the one that you take out of the oven time to cool, so you can kind of create a line that's going to be effective, and you want to have a lot of inactive time. So once you spread this in an even layer, you can stick it into the oven. Make sure that you don't use too much batter, because if you use too much batter, if the cookie bakes too thick, then it tends to stay soft. It doesn't get super crispy. But we'll talk about troubleshooting later on as well. I'm going to bake these for about 7 to 8 minutes until the edges are like amber brown or golden brown color, and then immediately we have to shape them while they are hot. That is super crucial, to shape these while they are hot. If they are not hot, you won't be able to shape them. And also don't leave these unattended, because they bake really in no time. So use a flat spatula, fold it over, but don't flatten it. Just touch the edges and then immediately come over to your shaping station. Use some sort of an edge and pull the ends of the crescent down slowly. Again, very important that the cookie is hot at this point. And to make sure that it doesn't come undone, we're going to place it into a muffin pan to cool. So again, you just moving the ends down shaping this beautiful cookie. Let's have a look at common mistakes to avoid. You don't want to flatten the baked cookie over like this. Although once you fold it over the edge, it's going to look it looks great, but you're going to lose the hollow center, and also as the cookie cools, the moisture accumulates in the middle, and that middle will remain soft. It will never get crispy. So you want to avoid doing this. Make sure that when you are folding it over, you're just touching the edges, and then you can go over the edge of the rim of the glass and then slowly take the ends of the crescent down. Another mistake is folding it when the cookie is almost cold, so you end up having these cracks in a cookie. And also when you spread the batter too thick, what's gonna happen, the cookie most likely will be underbaked, and so the middle will remain soft. Correctly baked cookie will have a nice snap to it, and it will most definitely make you smile. Once the cookies are cooled, you can store these in an airtight container for about a month. If they do become a little softer, you can crispy them up in the oven for a couple minutes. If you'd like, you can also beautify these with chocolate and sprinkles. You can use compound chocolate that requires just simple melting in the microwave. Follow the directions on the packaging. Pour the chocolate into a piping bag. You can use white chocolate to create a beautiful drizzle. Or you can also pour chocolate into a larger bowl and then dip the cookies in the chocolate. When using real chocolate, you will have to temper chocolate. You can find step-by-step tutorial on how to temper chocolate on my blog, hanielas.com. And then use your favorite sprinkles. You can use also luster dust. You could use jewel dust that adds really nice shimmer and sparkle to chocolate. You could also let the chocolate harden and then paint with luster dust. There are so many things you can do with these. When making these for Easter, I suggest using spring sprinkles for these. And then before storing these or packaging these, of course, let the chocolate harden. Guys, if you haven't made these before, try them. They're really fun to make, and you can really go wild with the special messages that you can include inside of these crispy little treats. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching till the end, and I will see you in the next one. Bye everyone!